Test. Okay. And welcome to the world according to George. I'm your host, George Thomas, and this episode of WAG is being broadcast from Fulton Market in downtown Chicago. And my guest host today is Carlo Navarro.
All right.
And is that how you say your last name?
That's how you say it.
And Carlo is on Team WAG. He is our social media guru, so he's our latest WAG employee, and that makes two. And you're in studio, so this is our first time using my new office / studio. We're here at Spaces, which is a product of WeWork, or not WeWork, they're gone. It's a product of Regis, which was kind of the original co-working space, yeah. And they're a huge company, and they've had to close centers, but I think relatively they've been strong.
Yeah.
This is their trendier product.
It's nice.
Yeah, and we're at it's a low rise, but we're right. Most of West Loop is low rise, so we're only on floor 2.
Fancy neighborhood.
Yeah, you think it's a fancy neighborhood?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. As long as it's a fancy neighborhood, I'm okay with it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've been here for 8 months. I mostly had just a desk I was renting, and then I recently added an office. I do my corporate job out of here, and then hopefully, we'll have more in-studio, guests because the equipment's all here.
It's nice.
It sounds better. Everyone compliments the equipment, and it's just better to have him. It's just a better experience when you're in person.
Yeah, I mean, you'll get people walking by. It looks like.
Is that good that people are walking by?
I think it's cool.
Yeah, because it's like lunchtime.
See?
So, I'd be interested to know if someone would say, "Well, you should do it at an uncommon hour so there's nobody there."
No,
because I have access all the time.
No, I think it's good. I think it's cool.
You're off. Do you work? You work from home?
I work from home, up in Logan Square, Avondale area, North Side.
So how far was this, for you?
I mean, I took the train, so it was about 20-some minutes.
20-some? Okay.
Yeah, it's not bad.
What train's that?
Blue.
But that doesn't get you right here, does it?
No, I didn't. I hopped on the Halstead bus.
I would get a little closer to that. Your line is smaller than mine.
There, chest?
Yeah, but you're good. You're good.
Okay.
I'm just paranoid because I'm so bad at the technical side. I always have been bad at this side. I even want Kevin to help me on how to use this Mac because this is the first Mac that I've had in a long time.
Okay.
And I don't understand how to download things. I don't know.
Well, it's easier than a PC.
This is easier than PC?
Yeah, Mac is.
Yeah, but I'm not used to it because I have a PC over there.
Right.
So I have both.
Well, this is the creative stuff.
Yeah. I like it.
It's nice.
What did I get? Did I get a
MacBook Pro?
Did I get the Pro or did I get what's the one, the Air? I didn't get the Air, did I?
You didn't get the Air.
That's not an Air.
That's not an Air, no.
So I got the good one.
Well, with all of this, you're going to need, a nice one.
Probably overkill.
No.
I don't see. I don't want to be upgrading equipment. I just want to buy things as we go. I don't want to have to upgrade all the mics. That's why we have these so they can handle 4 guests at a time.
Well, you did have 4 guests, right?
We did with Maple and White.
Maple and White. That was nice. They had a nice little.
That was a good episode, but it wasn't. It was too long. I should have made it a little more. It was good, but there was I think an hour that was good, and it went to an hour and a half, and it might have got a little boring. I don't know.
Why? What do you say?
That's just what I think. I feel like I got some of that feedback.
Oh,
from one person maybe or 2 people.
Okay, well,
I don't know what. Yeah,
that doesn't count.
But
that was at their that was
at one of my parents' homes.
Okay,
but that was in their town where their company is in South Bend.
Okay, yeah, because I saw pictures.
Amazing company. By the way, I work with them on my personal stuff here, and they do so
interior design.
Interior design. They can do the home builds. They can do landscaping.
Nice.
And Amy Ball is the woman I work with. Is just amazing. I don't think she'll mind me saying her name because it's very complimentary. But she's just one of those designers that is. She's a rare designer. She's very not pushy. She's very kind of vanilla, meek a little bit. Not meek, but she's not imposing her designer will on you. She's going to design the house
around what you like.
Around what you like, and she's not going to want if you say I don't really want to do this blue tile, and another designer might say that's the key to the whole thing. So I really want you to do the blue tile. She's not going to be that way. I've had to push her sometimes to be more aggressive. But
for your own
that's
house?
what you want for my apartment here. She did like my bedroom,
nice,
and my living room.
That's awesome.
And they can't do their own like delivery guys then up here, so that she like picks. It might be something from Pottery Barn or Crate and Barrel, but she'll do the look.
Oh, she'll design it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. My wife was she was a high-end kitchen bath designer.
Oh, was she?
Back in the day.
What does she do now?
She's with the kids right now.
You've got like a million kids though.
Yeah, I got about 1.5 million.
Yeah.
Kids. Yeah. 5.
That's a lot. That was one of my main questions.
That was your main question?
That was one of my main questions. But we'll get into this. Okay, I'll get back on script. So you are, what are you? You're in your 40s?
Mm-hmm. I just turned 45.
Okay, wow. You do not look 45.
I appreciate that.
You're 5 years off 50? You look more like 35.
There you go. I like that.
Wow. See, I don't know why you're not. You should be aging faster because you have so many kids.
Asian.
You're what?
I'm Asian.
You're Asian? What background?
Filipino.
Okay.
I look young now, but then there'll be like a certain point where I'm like, I'll wake up and look like Mr. Miyagi.
Is your wife Filipino?
No, she's American. Yeah.
How does she age?
Pretty good, I guess.
She's doing good.
You know what?
How old is
not
your
I guess.
wife?
She ages very well.
Yeah. How old is your wife?
She's 44.
Okay, so you guys are the same age.
Yeah.
So how did you, Carlo? How did you get into like running? You're really running your own business. Even Kevin is doing that.
Yeah.
How did that start? And
Yeah.
how are you in social media? What brought you to this?
Well, I think so I've been in marketing for about 15 years, and then I've been in and out of startups with different companies, and then
In that field?
in marketing in general. And then when I went back into the space actually around COVID, just before COVID, I started to do more independent work because I actually left a nonprofit that I helped build, sort of revamp and remarket, rebrand for 3 years. It was a cancer research foundation.
Oh, good.
And so I did that for a few years. And before that, I was in tech and startups. I just kind of got burnt out.
I'm getting so much. Thinking about that camera you've got on me right now. But keep going. It looks good though.
Well, the
image back looks good. I'm sorry.
Before I
Finish
continue,
your story.
no, because I
much
think
ADD.
this is my whole thing where I think people need to see more video of you. So
Yeah.
that I'll just leave it at that.
My
We'll
fat
talk about
face.
that later. Yeah. Well, no, it's not. We'll talk about that later. So yeah, I went back into after I did the sort of nonprofit. I obviously was looking for full-time work, but then ended up working for a health startup in San Francisco. I was traveling back and forth, and
I was just there.
yeah, I haven't been there since COVID.
It's a city of contrasts now.
It's
still got good things. I'm not going to be overly negative. The media paints these cities, including our city, like there's every corner's on fire, and that's never the case.
Right,
And
right.
these cities are never going to fail.
They're just like
there's just issues, and like I said in previous shows, we in America, our issues are self-inflicted. We don't have to have this. We do it to
Yeah.
ourselves in many ways. I'm
Yeah.
talking about crime and
Right.
and things that are out of control.
Well, yeah, I
other
mean-
things obviously we probably can't help, but
You say you're from Chicago, and then everyone's like, "Man,
yeah, and that's
how's
not
the-
right.
what's the crime
And look
there?"
where we are right now. We're in a
mean,
beautiful part of the city.
fancy?" Yeah, I mean,
It's not only fancy. There's other things. Is it prohibitive?
no, I like
it's
that.
probably
I love this area. Yeah,
Well, it's gotten flack though. I'm sure
yeah,
that it's gentrified so much that it's
little
and
bit.
I pay an ungodly amount of money to live here.
yeah. Well,
But I don't have to live in that building. There's other buildings maybe.
well, it's this area's changed so fast though.
Yeah.
over the last 5-7 years. So.
Finish your intro. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
though.
no. So I started working for them sort of in a sort of fractional marketing
Yeah.
sort of way, and I really enjoyed it and started picking up more clients. It's sort of just a natural progression of getting more clients to work with them on kind of marketing, growth, branding, and then a lot of
Right.
it, social media was obviously a part of all that stuff. And so end up getting more clients, and then that's sort of I've been doing this for almost 5 years now, and doing the marketing thing independently.
Doing your own thing.
Doing my own thing, working with different clients. Then I started working with podcast clients
Yeah.
And
How long have you been working with podcast clients?
well, with Provoke, shout out to Provoke.fm that I work with Kevin. I would say it was 4+ years now.
Okay.
That's why I got really interested. I always
When did
loved
you meet
podcasts.
Kevin?
I met Kevin through that.
And he's
Through-
our editor.
Yeah. He's
Okay.
the audio wizard, and he's awesome.
I really probably don't need him, I bet.
Who, Kevin?
I mean, I'm always going to have someone do it, but other
yeah.
people I feel like judge me because much of the podcast, we don't edit out any content. So all he's doing is adding the intro, the outro, the sound effects, and improving. If something's really sounds like crap, he's trying to improve it. But other people would say, well, George, why don't you go get trained and you edit your own show?
Oh my gosh, you don't want to do that.
Okay, thank you.
You do not want to do that.
Right.
I've tried doing like all of it.
I'm glad you said that.
And
Because you could be saying like,
I mean, just look at we were trying to set up these mics.
yeah. But that's me though, isn't it?
Yeah, but still, like imagine.
Isn't this
now
dummy
you-
proof and I'm a dummy?
No, but I mean, you have to go now do audio and making sure people can. It's the same level in the car, on their iPod or not iPod. That's how old I am. Their iPhone.
Yeah.
Everywhere. So
He's going to look at it from a view that I don't have, right? He's going to be able to fix an audio thing where, like,
Well-
if I'm in Cayman and I did this thing with my sister,
Yeah.
and it's Zoom and the audio sucks, he's going to make it. I'm not going to ever know how to make it sound
No.
better.
you would spend.
Maybe I can edit out a clip, but that's all.
Yeah, I mean, I've spent some years as doing music and back in the day, and trying to record on your own and editing.
Yeah.
I mean, Kevin's also a musician, so
Right.
he's got the ear.
He's coming on next.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Begrudgingly, he's coming on.
Yeah, he's pretty talented. But we listen to podcasts now that are like they have teams and teams that do podcasts like the NPRs of the world, right?
Yeah.
Like that audio quality. Like we just expect that.
What do
know?
you expect?
That type of quality.
Oh,
and
but this could sound the same as that.
I think it does. That's why
Yeah.
that's why I think Kevin does a great job.
Oh, got it.
But you listen to podcasts that don't do that, you're like, oh man, I can't.
I at least this can be a whatever it is, and it's we're still in the cut our teeth kind of wartime days, but at least we know for most of these shows that the sound quality is high.
Oh yeah.
And it sounds professional.
Well, yeah, and I think
That's important to me.
yeah, and you're different.
Yeah.
The show's different.
In what way?
Like we were talking earlier before we hit record.
Oh, it's not a
right?
guru show.
Well, it's not
I'm not trying to tell you.
Yeah,
all my,
I'm not saying that I don't appreciate those kind of like guru like.
Yeah,
But everyone's trying to give you a tip on something, right?
Right.
Like your health, your work, your marketing, your brand. It's like,
Yeah.
how much information could I consume at this point?
Yeah.
It's
I know it's insane.
like a doom scroll. Like, and then you feel like, wow, I'm not doing any of these things.
Yeah.
I'm not getting up at 4:30 to do a cold plunge or
Yeah. I know there's so much out there.
right.
Oh, I spend a lot of time on Instagram.
Stressful.
What about you?
Yeah. Well, yeah. Instagram.
You
Well,
probably don't have a lot of time.
on your guys' Instagram and like
Oh, your
TikTok and
clients.
stuff. Yeah, I mean it's interesting. I mean, that's why stuff like what you're doing is different, where it's almost like a break from the whole
Oh, yeah. Right.
interview format. Life coach stuff.
Yeah.
Not that stuff isn't good. Like,
I could see where that would get kind of annoying if that's all you're doing.
yeah, there's just a lot of it.
Little change
feel like-
is nice.
I don't know. It's like a soapbox, but like all of a sudden, all these people are coming out and they're like life coaches and they're like 22 years old. And,
Yeah.
and like, what
What do they know?
What's going on?
Yeah.
It's
like my therapist who was a 22-year-old like single girl, and I replaced her with a 37-year-old like woman with like a family and kids, and it's been a lot better.
Experience.
And I'm
Yeah.
34 now, so
right.
You want something like 22? What are you gonna? I don't know. For me,
I
it's
agree.
mostly
I
me
agree.
talking, but
Right.
I think other people. When I told people that, they were like, "Yeah, it's probably
Well, how do you sort of like
yeah." How do you relate?
exactly?
Although I don't have a family, but I like people that have families because I think there's a sense of there's experience there and maturity and emotional maturity probably, and there's you've been through life more than people that haven't. Like you've experienced something that I've never experienced, not even close.
Yeah,
And you have children,
yeah.
and I guess you got married, but that
right.
seems like the kid thing is bigger.
It's a lot.
Yeah,
It's a lot of work. I
Yeah.
mean, it's not easy. I'll tell
Yeah.
you that much. So
Well, maybe don't have 5 though. Okay, Carlo, how does one massively increase their Instagram following, which is all I care about besides YouTube? How do I get
Right.
5,000, 10,000 Instagram followers?
I mean,
It's about me. I have to have
I
talent
know.
and viral, right?
Well, let's just talk about like what we're doing, and maybe this will help other people as they look at how to grow their social followings, right? At the end of the day, all these social platforms are just distribution channels that could or could not change within it could change tomorrow, right?
Yeah.
But what is really interesting right now is what we're doing with your podcast is that there's never been a time where we could put a vertical piece of content like we've been testing with your hotel stuff, your hotel reviews, which have been significantly more viewed than any other
podcast, right.
than any other like piece of content.
Yeah.
But we have that vertical piece of content that you're traveling around, right? And then we're able to put that on YouTube. And then now we're able to use that same piece of content and put it on whatever format, whatever channel that has the same format. So that'd be Instagram Reels, Facebook Reels. We don't do no Facebook Reels, but TikTok. So at one point we can just distribute in multiple places, right? I think how to grow is just consistently having content.
Yeah.
I think that's the.
I do notice the more popular content creators, unless they're like a model and they have, like abs or something, they're posting like every day,
right?
Like something,
Something.
and it's not always original.
No,
it could be more of what they've already posted.
And you don't know what's gonna stick. Like every platform's got algorithms. Like
the pace is high. You can tell
the pace.
You can tell they figured it out.
Right. Well, we figured out that
which is more
we
content.
need you to continue to do what you do is record where you're because you travel.
Which I owe you one right now.
You do.
I have one.
You travel a lot.
Yeah.
You travel to a lot of cool hotels.
Yeah.
That many people don't get to go to.
Yeah.
So
including Kevin.
Yeah.
He just went to Disney. I think he was like at some, I don't know.
He's went to Disney?
I think yeah.
Oh, I don't go to nice hotels.
He doesn't either.
Well, I go to Marriott's, but like you're like the level of Marriott that's a little different than me.
I'm 5 times higher. What are you talking about? I'm in a 4 Seasons. That's not even in the Marriott realm. But as I said, well, go ahead.
No, I'm just saying I'm in the free breakfast realm.
Yeah. Well, the whole thing is, and I said this before, I wouldn't have that fancy car I drive if I had just one kid. That'd all go away. All my money would be immediately eaten up.
Mercedes?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've got that GLE 450E, and that's it's a indulgence, but I don't have a wife or kids, or I don't have these huge expenses. I have no debt, besides a little bit of credit card debt, but it's very, very minor. And so I had, my friends, everyone has children, and I know how expensive they are because I was a child, and we had 5 kids in my family.
You guys had 5?
Yeah, I was the oldest. I don't know if you did. I'm the oldest of 5. And my parents had money, and it was a fucking expense. It was insane. Yeah. And, I'll be lucky to, have the setup that they did because I won't have that many kids, though. If I have any kids, it'll be 1 to 2.
1.5.
Maybe.
1.5.
What would be 0.5 at?
I don't know. That's the average. You know how they
the average.
averages.
Yeah, I don't know. I do think I want to have kids, though, for when I'm like in my 60s. I think that'd be weird.
60s?
Well, not when I don't want to have them when I'm 60. I want to not be barren by the time I'm 60.
Right. Yeah. Okay.
I don't know. Like you might be exhausted, but you're in a health way. You're probably mentally healthier than I am because you have so much more perspective.
Yeah, I mean, there's this. I don't know. You can never.
But you're so tired, you don't even think about it.
You can't prepare for kids. I mean, this is like a thing you can't.
Did you always want 5 kids?
No, I thought we would have 3.
Yeah.
Right. But yeah.
Who pushed you to have 5?
My wife came from a really big family.
Your wife did.
What's that?
That's the answer.
Well, no, we both wanted 3. Obviously, like we weren't expecting the next 2. But here's the thing.
But they weren't surprises. Don't tell me that. That's not a real thing.
Yeah, there were surprises.
Well, but you know what you're up to.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, you're not like.
If you really
stupid.
cared, you might have wore a condom or something.
Yeah, probably. Yeah. But here's the thing. I mean, well,
God, Freud would say you wanted those two mother kids.
well,
Which is
I
you
could
true, you
say,
probably did.
and we talked about this the other day on Slack. Like, I think we were, so our youngest, Jet, who was just born, well, he's 2.5 now. So
Okay.
he ended up having some stuff going on with, with his brain and some some genetic things that we found out. But if it wasn't for him, right, we wouldn't have been able to get my wife and us tested for this genetic disease it's called HHT.
Yeah.
So she's had some issues that are now being taken care of, like with her lungs, and then we did some scans, and things are on the up and up. But like we would have never known that to do that if it wasn't for him. So like looking back, right, he's been really like this sort of kind of miracle baby, I think. We would have never known.
He's your youngest?
Youngest, and typically with this disease, most people find out they have it is when they have because it forms like blood clots in different parts of your body, and it could be in your brain or your lung.
Yeah.
And typically when people find out, they're like older, and like something happens, they have like a seizure.
Okay.
And they get like an aneurysm. So it's like a little.
But that's really dangerous.
Dangerous. It's too late. It could be too late.
Yeah.
So now
aneurysm kills you.
Right.
Can kill you.
And then or just put you in a state where you're not.
You're right.
So I mean, looking back, right, it's pretty lucky to know like how to manage it moving forward, which is you couldn't ask for any more than that. So
yeah. What are your other kids' ages?
So 14, my oldest. I have.
Oh my gosh,
so
you have
14. She's 14, Gray, and then
Her name's Gray.
Gray.
Grae.
Grae.
Grae. That's a cool
color.
name. Gray. I like
Gray,
that name.
yeah.
I've never seen it spelled. Or I don't see any. I don't know anyone.
A lot of
with Gray.
Grays. When we named
Besides
her
Gray's Anatomy.
Gray,
Is
and
that
then
a Gray?
Grayson, yeah, Grey. Then there was
E-Y.
like a lot of everyone started naming their kids Gray.
You said Grae.
Ae. Yeah.
Where's that come from?
We just thought
That's
it was
not from the Bible.
No, we just thought it was a good spelling.
I do like that name.
Well, my wife's name's Lisa.
I don't know if I would spell it that way, but I like that name.
She's spelled Leasa.
Oh yeah, that's interesting.
Yeah, it's weird.
She misspelled her own name. All
Yeah.
right. No, I'm just kidding. Her parents did.
Well, she was 1 out of 7.
Right. Yeah, I know. What were you?
Yeah, I was in the middle. There was 3 of us in our family. I was the middle child.
Yes, you 3, it's 7, so you
3, 7,
5 is in the middle of that.
Yeah, sure. Yeah. So we have 4 boys, and then the oldest is a girl. 14, 11, going on 12, 9, 5, and then 2.5.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Teens are tough. 14-year-olds.
I think
they're all tough, or really young kids are tough.
The boys are just boys. They're pretty
sexist. Okay.
Yeah. Well, it is what it is.
You only have
It's
one
true.
girl.
One girl. Well,
Yeah.
how many were in your family?
2 girls and 3 boys.
Okay. So more boys and girls. So yeah. So
I'm not sure what my parents would say.
I'm sure. I don't
on
know.
who's easier. I was the best, of course.
Right.
And had the best judgment and still do.
Yeah.
And kept the family together. I just really believe that. Sam was a joke. He was the easiest. He was the youngest.
Okay.
Spoiled, but really easy.
Gotcha. How old is Sam now?
23.
He's 23. Okay.
So I'm 34.
Right.
So 11 years. So then I don't think Madeline was hard. I think B had a hard time in high school.
Okay.
And then Peter probably was a pain in the ass maybe sometimes in high school. I don't know. I'm making big statements. And then we kind of had issues with him in college. So I don't know. But I say we. I'm not his parent.
Right.
But
I would say
in our family, it wasn't so sex-based. It was just more personality.
Well, I mean.
But I do, because no, it's weird because me and Sam and Madeline, I think, are a dream or to deal with. I think the other two sometimes are not. Yeah, one boy, one girl.
Would they say the same thing?
They'd be hard to probably make statements about themselves in that way. They would agree, I think, with the things I'm saying about me. And
Gotcha.
Everyone agrees, I think, would agree with the thing between me and Sammy
Gotcha.
being the easiest.
The rest of them.
Oldest?
Sammy?
No, Sam's the youngest.
Youngest. Oh, okay.
The oldest and the youngest.
Gotcha.
And then they would probably have more to say about the 3 middle.
Gotcha. I mean, if they had 5. That's still it's any way you cut it. It's
Yeah.
It's hard.
It's a lot. But I remember when Sammy was born, and I remember when he was a baby because I was old enough.
So you're 10 years?
11.
11 apart? Yeah, that's about... No, we have a lot more variance than that, but... Yeah, teenager years are kind of... I'm just our first experience with this, so, it's just the whole... She's in 8th grade, she's going to go to high school, and then we're going to figure that out.
Where's she going to go to high school?
We don't know yet.
Oh.
Yeah, we're trying to figure out this whole Chicago thing.
But private school?
Maybe, I don't know. She's really into ballet, so we're trying to figure out what she wants to do, and there's maybe some schools that she can focus on to do that type of stuff, and I don't know. Navigating the city is pretty difficult. I think when they get older.
Yeah.
For high school.
I would bet that.
Well, you didn't grow up. Did you grow up in Chicago?
No, Indiana.
Indiana.
I went to public school.
Yeah. See.
But went to private elementary and middle.
Right. Where in Indiana again? I forgot.
The South Bend area.
Bend. Okay.
Elkhart area.
Okay. Elkhart. Yep.
Yeah. Went to school in South Bend, and then we all came back to Elkhart to go to public high school.
Okay.
So.
For college, you went to Notre Dame?
No, I went to IU.
Oh, you went to IU. That's right.
Yeah. Elkhart and South Bend are right next to each other.
Right. I went to Ball State.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I would never have gone to Notre Dame.
No.
Because South Bend is so lame, and we grew up with it. My grandpa was involved in that. He was like the golf coach.
Oh, was he?
At Notre Dame. Yeah.
You play golf?
Nah, I don't really enjoy golf, but I play with my friends.
Okay.
He's actually buried at Notre Dame.
Really?
On campus.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wow.
You know Eric Parsegian?
No.
He was a famous football coach. You know Lou Holtz probably.
Yeah.
Another one. They were friends with all those guys.
There you go.
Era has passed, but Era and him will be buried. They are buried next to each other.
Wow.
So
that's cool.
Yeah.
Never knew that.
More
you know.
He was a big deal. He was an amazing golfer. I did not live up to his memory, but Peter was a really good golfer. He played a lot of golf, and then my uncle was amazing. But what did I want to ask you? But back on social media, I kind of want to delete TikTok. Number one, because I don't use it, and number two, I don't want China mining my precious data. And I want to know. I don't know what your thoughts are.
Yeah.
I agree with the bill that's gone through the federal government. They passed it in the House. I guess it's going to be months until anything happens on the Senate side. I agree with it because it's not really. It doesn't have to be a ban if they just divest out of, I guess, the Chinese investment, right? It'll still exist, or if they don't, then it won't.
Right. They want the U.S. to own, or the U.S. wants to purchase
it. I agree. Now, many people, TikTok users, of course, there's I think over 150 million Americans that use TikTok.
It's wild, yeah.
Which is insane. Don't agree with me.
Right.
But they don't care about national security the way I do. They're just thinking about themselves.
Right.
And all these creators. Sure. See, if I was famous, I would have a way. I could see it now. If I was really famous on TikTok,
right,
I might have the same. Because I was thinking my own future and
correct.
Because TikTok, just because I've got 1 million followers on TikTok is what I learned like a year ago, or whenever I learned it, doesn't mean I have 1 million on Instagram.
Right.
Right. So I might be worried if I'm a TikToker.
Yeah. Well, I think that it comes back to what we were trying to do is how do we diversify where you're at? Because at any moment, right, you could have been.
But I do use YouTube, and I like YouTube.
Yeah. And
Instagram.
Let's say you were really popular on TikTok, but because
you would stick to it.
Well, because we're trying to diversify where your content is.
Yeah.
You wouldn't be as worried because you're trying to garner your audience on different places. You're trying to diversify your engagement across different platforms. I think the creators that don't want it to go away, is that they've invested all their time on one platform.
Right.
And that's all they have. And then if it's taken away, you're basically getting deplatformed and your entire following is gone. Which is, you have 1 million people following you on whatever network. Doesn't mean 1 million people are always going to see what you put out there. Like, we have no idea what these algorithms are doing.
Right.
Essentially. Like, our data. Listen, as soon as we put stuff out there, our data's already out there.
Our data's already out there.
Yeah, so it's not like,
Now, they did do, like you've heard about Project Texas, I guess, where that's what they call it. TikTok put servers in the U.S. to try to, appease lawmakers and say your data is in the United States.
Yeah.
But technically, I guess the the high command over in China can still, that
Yeah,
they're saying they can still have access to it.
I just think it's really interesting. It's coming down now, election year, right? Like,
Yeah.
it's like,
I'm sure it would help Democrats more than Republicans.
I think it's all about who. It's all about power. Like, who wants to control sort of the content? Like, I don't think the U.S. really enjoys another country having so much success on a platform that millions and millions of people are using.
Yeah, well, a country that's not very friendly to us,
Sure.
and that steals our intellectual property. Those are all valid points.
But then, what is the? I mean, why? If we buy it, and then how do you know that your content is being shown? It's just a lot.
You don't know.
You don't know. It's just you don't know, right?
The head of the FCC thinks we should do it. Nancy Pelosi thinks we should do it.
Yeah. Well,
I think a lot of Republicans think we should do it.
I think all politicians want us to do it, right?
You think they all do?
Of course they do.
It's a rare bipartisan issue.
It's the U.S. wants control of this platform, right? It's big tech. It's a lot of things where like you put content out there.
It's banned on government phones today. No government employee can use it on their phones. Federal.
Under issued phones, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. But at home they have it.
Maybe. Well,
Yeah.
they probably. That's 150 million people probably. There's only 300 million people here. Florida just banned any. No, they're, I don't know. God knows what they're doing. But they just said anyone under 14 cannot have social media regardless of what your parents think.
Yeah.
14 and under, no social media.
Listen, my daughter does
Which
not,
I like that.
my daughter does not have.
And she's
social
14.
media. She's 14. She doesn't have. She has a phone that is that's a managed phone. It's I think we were on like a Trumi.
A what?
It's called Trumi.
I don't know what that is.
It's a phone that's like an Android phone, but it's managed where I can control the apps.
Full parental control.
Full parental control. Like she cannot have access to social media. There's no like Instagram or TikTok and any of that stuff on there, and it's fine. I mean, we made that decision.
Right.
A lot of people do not agree with me on that. Like they're like,
Oh, and having full like oversight.
or like they just don't believe like they don't agree with us not giving her social media.
Well, how long until she can have social media?
I don't know. I mean, when she's I don't know.
What?
I work in social. I mean, I don't even want her having social media.
That's how scared you are? Oh, God.
I'm not scared. I think there's just too many things out there that you just
Predators.
can't control. You just can't control that stuff, right?
Yeah.
I mean,
So you agree with the Florida law?
well, here's the thing.
Or do you
right?
want the government not telling us what to do? What do you care about?
I care about creators being to create their own content and it being shown right to the right people. But here's the thing about like phones and I think teenagers too.
Yes.
So she has a managed phone.
And when
right?
you were a kid, you didn't even have a phone.
No.
Did they have phones?
No.
Yeah. They didn't have
Well,
any phone.
Landlines.
They had rotary phones. You
not
were born
that
when?
old.
That-
79.
Okay. Whoa, boy, the 70s.
Ooh, close. 79.
A lot of turmoil. What happened in the 80s? Do you remember? What was going on? You were around when Reagan was around.
Yeah, 80s, yeah.
He was a good dude, right?
80s, 90s.
Clinton was good.
Clinton, and then we were in the 90s, and then,
Bush kind of blew it.
Bush, and then, yeah.
Okay.
But here's what I noticed about phones. I'm going to go back to this real quick.
By the way, we're not going to get into any of my topics, which is...
You want to get into your
No,
topics?
no, I don't.
Okay.
No, this is why it's organic. It works.
Okay. Well, here's the thing.
This
right?
is the goal, what we're doing.
And okay.
There's magic happening.
I think so, too.
That's why I need to stick with this.
Here's a really interesting
I'm
thing.
at peace.
I'm good. I'm glad you're at peace. Yeah.
I'm
Hey, how are you doing?
usually not. I know they look right in here.
That's fine. I think
Okay.
they think we're celebrities.
Okay.
See,
My feet shake. Anyway, go ahead.
Okay. Here's the interesting part, right? You look at like how we were saying everyone is addicted to their phones,
Yes.
right? Like they cannot have it because they're always on it.
I am.
You go to like restaurant. I mean, it's wild,
horrifying.
right? It's horrifying.
Everywhere I go, airports, drones, everyone's just doing that.
Everywhere. And what's interesting with having her have a phone that doesn't have social media on it, like all she has on it, she can make phone calls and text and get on Google Maps if we allow it.
Is it more like for emergencies?
Emergencies, but
Or does she text her friends?
She can text friends and send messages and
She
photos.
can.
Yeah,
But you can read them all.
I can read them all.
Yeah.
I can read them all.
There's a question there
Yeah,
of privacy.
true. Not in my home.
But
Yeah,
14 years old.
14.
But I would bet there's people there's organizations or people, political or whatever,
Right.
that think you're doing the wrong thing by reading every text message.
I don't read all of them. I make
Okay.
sure they're, we make sure it's appropriate. Right.
Have you had any that you've had to get involved in?
I mean, no, not really. So that's good, right?
See, I wouldn't want to know almost. If I had a daughter, I would. If I had a son, I would be like, I don't want to know.
Too crazy.
Yeah.
But here's the thing, like, so she has the physical phone, right? We are all, I think, all physically addicted to our phones.
Yes.
Like it's like we have to have them. I don't know
Most
why.
of
Like,
us.
you just feel like a security.
I don't know what it is.
Security blanket or something,
Yeah.
right? And she has nothing on there, no social, nothing. Just Google Maps of all things, and if we allow like maybe Spotify, there's a lot of apps that you can access if we allow access to it. But we've noticed is that even if she doesn't even have anything on the phone, she still would look at it, hold it the way we would hold it if we had social media. Meaning like
The
these
addiction's
kids,
there.
These kids they're just addicted to
Yeah.
like this thing that
Yeah.
they think they have to have. There's nothing on there that she could look at but like maybe a Google Maps at one point.
Right.
Wild.
Isn't that weird?
Or weather. It's
That's
weird.
an interesting test of like human behavior.
Right. And you know what?
She
People-
still wants it that bad.
Well, people will tell me, or people will say, every teenager has a phone. Every teenager is on Instagram or TikTok or Snapchat, whatever. And by not allowing them to do that, is like they're not getting invited to this party. Well, I don't want her to go to that party anyway. So I mean, the party is not supervised.
Yeah.
It is completely banned. People can say that they control or they can parental manage their kids' usage on their phones.
Right.
Like, BS, man. Like you cannot. Like you're on YouTube, you're getting shown who knows what and ads.
Right.
All this kind of stuff. And it's not managed. You cannot manage it the way you think you can manage it. I've spent some time working at Apple, in Apple retail business, and like,
For Apple directly?
yeah, Apple retail, yeah.
What does retail mean? Just at their stores?
Here, North Michigan Avenue, and I started working for them, and then I was on the floor because I got out of a startup, found a job there, and then I started working for their business. They had like a business team, which I ended up working for like 4 years, which is really great. But
The store on the river?
yeah, but it wasn't a river at that point.
Oh, it was
Yes,
down on,
so-
yeah.
well,
It's going to
my-
be H&M now, the old one.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Ugh.
They're gutting it.
But my point was that we were working with companies that were allowing iPhones into their business with employees, and then there was like systems to like mobile device manage them. Like it's pretty intense, right? I mean, you can't do that with your kids. Like these phones are just access to everything,
Right.
Which is great. I think that's the way they can get information, but it's also pretty scary what they see. Like
Yeah.
we grew up with TV. Like shows were on a certain time and day.
Right.
The on-demand generation, I call them, like it's just wild. Like
Yeah?
kids freak out when the ad comes up and they can't skip it.
Yeah.
My kids do. If we do allow them to watch like Disney Plus.
What,
or
like in 4
something.
seconds? Those ads?
Yeah, it's like you don't need to skip it. Like just wait. Like there's no patience.
I'm like your kids. I don't want to. I want to skip that ad. Yeah.
It's wild.
Yeah, I remember in hotels, my parents wouldn't have. There's no control, and then something inappropriate could be on a channel. And we never. When I was really young,
Right.
my mom intentionally. We never had anything beyond basic cable,
Yeah.
and we had DVDs. And my friend was like, well, "How come you guys?" But that wasn't very.
We
We
have
didn't have
DVDs
sweet.
now.
We didn't have sweet cereal either. What?
We have DVDs in the house now.
You do?
Yeah.
But they're done now. What do you mean in the house now?
Well, we get DVDs. We have a DVD player.
Oh, you do. I stopped putting those in places. We don't have. Cause
Yeah.
it's all it's all in your all
On
these
demand.
apps.
Yeah. I mean, just
We had a huge shelf with like 1 million DVDs.
I know. We have that. I mean, obviously we have our, the streaming, the Disney
Yeah.
Plus of the world.
This stuff is funny. It's just stuff becomes
but-
obsolete.
They didn't have that Disney Plus when my daughter. I mean, she's 14.
Right. That's a newer.
That's crazy how it's all evolved that fast.
Yeah.
I don't know. It just kids today are just not patient. There's no patience.
No. Well, these have all made us monsters. These things. 'Cause
Yeah,
we can
I mean, you travel a lot. I mean, you people are just probably just. I mean,
Oh, they're always
I know
on their phones.
on
Always.
planes and airport.
Everywhere. People at dinner. I saw a couple the other night when I was traveling at this dinner. I was alone at the restaurant. This new Saltgrass. It's like a Texas Roadhouse knockoff. Actually, I liked it.
Nice.
It's called Saltgrass something. Saltgrass Tavern or something. It's a chain.
Okay.
But this couple, average American couple,
Just
weren't talking at all. They weren't even talking. They're just like this. They both were looking at their own phones.
like, why even go?
I don't know.
It's sad, isn't it?
And
I
even
don't
when
know.
It is sad.
I don't know.
If people saw what society is like today, who were around, 70 years ago, it'd be shocking,
Yeah.
because you have a lot less of this.
How long you been in Chicago?
A while, 7 or 8 years.
Okay. Yeah, I've been here probably double, more than that. But I remember people on the train. Like, we didn't have phones like we have today.
Yeah.
People will be like addicted to not addicted, but in a good way, to books.
Yeah.
I mean, everyone had a book on the train,
Oh, yeah.
or like
not having a
or
phone
like
on a train sounds kind of rough, but
right.
yeah.
But like, or just music, right? Music, or they had a book.
Yeah.
And
Music was bigger.
I remember people used to walk to work reading a book,
Yeah. Well,
which was like
that's gone.
kind of refreshing, right?
Yeah.
We take our kids to the library, and that's kind of refreshing. Show them how to like take out a book.
That's
and,
good.
know,
That's a good
you know,
lesson. Yes.
just kind of get off the screen a little bit. But yeah, traveling, I can't imagine the airport, people just not paying attention. Like,
No, it's what you think.
yeah, even on vacation, like the nice like beach, even on the beach, like
They're on their phones, or they have their phones with them.
wild.
Yeah, everywhere.
Like the ocean's right there.
No, it's more important what's on Instagram. Okay, are most of your clients? I think we went over this already, but are they like me in the terms of the work you're doing, and like
A little bit. It's a variance,
It's a
right?
variance.
There's podcast clients. I have clients in like B2B, clients in B2C.
Okay.
Yeah, so it depends on the type of work they need. So,
But you do creative and business and whatever.
yeah, and I sort of come at it like it's popular term now, but they call it like a fractional CMO, fractional head of marketing.
Okay,
that comes
yeah.
in and
You
just-
do that.
Yeah,
Oh, that's cool.
kind of look at the business.
We
and
might
see
have
what
had
they
that
need.
in my last company. Let's see. I don't know if I have any other. Oh yeah, you don't. I thought. Do you have plans to go to Disney World too?
Yeah, at some point.
Yeah,
When the kids, I think I don't know when it's old enough.
probably be good for that when that 2-year-old can actually remember.
Yeah, and then I can actually save some money to. Gosh, I can't imagine what I haven't even looked at the prices at Disney World right now. I can't imagine how much that would cost.
Oh, it's a lot. I think. I don't know.
Well, you're saying only way to do it is through this special.
This is the thing. I am not a theme park person. I'm not a Disney person. I think Disney was built for what? They were built for kids. I don't understand the whole movement today where there are people my age and older that are obsessed with Disney. They go to Disney every year, multiple times a year. They buy all that crap food. They spend all their money
A lot of
going to, and it's not even, and they may not have kids, and they're obsessed. I went to Disney as a kid, as it was fine, and I went to Disney on a Disney cruise.
Yeah, we've been on a cruise.
A Disney cruise?
Yeah.
Okay, maybe those are better. But as a 30-year-old with all my adult siblings, we went to Disney like in the last 2 years, and we did Disney VIP, and it was amazing.
Look at you.
But it was amazing because I had more fun skipping the line
You're right.
with all the people and having a dedicated Disney employee with us the whole day and driving backstage around Disney than I did actually going on anything. Although, again, like Star Wars is newer at Disney.
Yeah.
So you're going to wait like freaking 2 or 3 hours to go on
you
Star
don't have
Wars.
the VIP.
So Disney VIP, there's no zero wait. And I'm not talking about, because they've got like Magic Pass.
You're
That's
talking about
bullshit.
like
I'm talking about there is nothing like that.
when are you going to take?
It's
my
like
family on
$500 an hour. You got to do at least 10. It's like 10 grand, I think, close to that.
All right.
But you can have 10 people, okay?
VIP? Okay.
And like I said, you can get through. So Disney
line.
World has like 6 theme parks or whatever there.
Right.
You can get through all 6 in a day.
Just because you skip all the lines.
Right. If you didn't have VIP, it'd take you one whole day. Would take you to one.
What about the food situation?
Well, they don't. You pay for everything. They don't pay for anything.
Right.
They take you somewhere.
You don't get like better options.
The food I didn't notice.
Food's wacky.
We went to the thing is Disney, you have to still pay for Disney tickets, and whatever tickets you need to get into Disney, you still have to get in addition to VIP.
To paying for the VIP.
Of course, they charge you for everything.
Yeah.
And then no food is included. Yeah.
Right.
I think transportation's included.
Yeah.
Like they'll pick you up at your hotel and
Right.
like drive you like to these areas that no one gets to go to.
Yeah, that's cool.
But the thing is, if I ever did it again, which I probably will, if someone wants,
with
this
Kevin,
if this
family
thing
and my family
monetizes,
right, yeah,
and it's throwing off, even if it threw off like say $5,000 a month, which is a lot,
Right.
but not a lot for certain people. That would be enough, and I would take you and your family and Kevin. Although, see how many people in your family?
yeah.
There's seven, and Kevin has 2 kids.
Yeah.
Oh no! So
So-
we all don't have enough room. Oh no, I could. I don't know what I would do.
You'd pay for it.
Yeah, I could pay for extra.
You heard it here, right here on this podcast.
We might have to go on a Disney cruise then, because we don't.
So we went on a cruise.
We don't
it
have
it
the-
was really nice. It was
sitting
actually,
in those hotel rooms on that cruise.
I mean, you don't.
Aren't a lot of them like not facing the ocean, the,
Well,
like,
you
the
don't.
interior?
You don't hang out in your
Oh,
hotel
you don't?
room. No, you're never in. You're never in the room.
Were you on a cruise where the windows you could see the ocean?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it was like
Because I know there's interior rooms.
It was a long cruise though, but it was fun. We went with my family.
Do you have a hard stop?
No, what time is it?
It's because you said 1:30. I thought it's
Okay.
1:17.
Okay.
Do you have you do have a hard?
No, I don't. I mean, no. We can go a little longer.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, so that was worth it.
Yeah.
But I wasn't paying. Honestly, the hotel's the best down there. If you could stay at that, Four Seasons is amazing in Orlando.
You
That's
You
worth
didn't
it.
stay like on property, like.
Four Seasons
It-
is on
is
Disney.
it on- is it on
it's
property?
on Disney property,
Yeah.
technically.
We
So
stayed
it's
in a-
governed by like Disney rules.
Okay.
Like the pool and alcohol situation is all
Yeah.
has to be Disney approved, which is weird.
Yeah.
Disney has like their own laws. That doesn't make sense.
Probably.
Did you know if someone dies like at Disney, they will pick up the body and then once the body's off Disney property, then they'll say this person died here and it won't say that they died at Disney.
No way.
That's a real thing. At least in the California one.
What if they die on a cruise?
Well, they probably can't get around that. But the ones on land, that's what I've read.
That's wild.
Yes. Well,
Well, you're
because it's a nightmare. Like you taking your kids to Disney World, that's not a vacation for you. That's horrifying.
No, it is horrifying. I heard. I mean, I just don't want to stay in the lines. And if it's really hot, I don't think I want to be in that situation. And then it's just, yeah, that'd be the way to go.
The VIP is the way to go. But they all have, like Universal has one too.
Gosh,
A VIP part.
That's another kids are asking.
That's cheaper than Disney's.
Yeah, a little bit, right?
Harry Potter World.
Harry Potter stuff.
Yeah.
Gosh, how do we make that kind of money?
I don't know. Not have a
Man.
failing podcast. I'm not. Who knows? Or be in insurance. Okay. Let's see. What else do I want? Because we only have limited time. I got to pick one. I'll go over my skin tag removal, which I was just at the dermatologist, because my eyes are all inflamed again. But I was at the dermatology maybe a few months ago, and I asked when the doctor was in what her relationship status was, like, and she may be older than me, but I was just asking because I ask a million questions. Who knows what I say? But I was asking her right as it was like a Seinfeld moment, was cutting off a mole from like my left like testicle area. So
The dermatologist?
yeah. So it was bad timing. But actually, she was such a consummate professional, and I think she was charmed by me anyway, because I think I can be charmed. I think I saved it. But it was weird. It was there since I was in college. It didn't change, but it was aesthetic.
What did she say?
She told me she was married with kids. There was nothing big to it, but I thought, oh, this
Then you
is...
felt the sharp pain.
Yeah. And the key on that is she was like, well, do you want me to numb? Because I had skin tags under my underarms.
Right.
And then I had that one, or two down south. And she said, well, I can just either cut them off or, I can numb them and then cut them off. But if I numb them, I have to needle each one. But let me tell you, you want everything, even though the needle hurts, you want everything numbed. You don't want her slicing into your body without numbing. So keep that in mind. And then I was at U. So the reason I found this out, I was at U Chicago where I had my tumor surgery because I'm loyal to them now. And they were like, they thought I had like genital warts, and they were just judgmental. I felt so. In 2 seconds, I go to the derm, and she's like, these are just skin tags, and they're probably going to come back. You probably have to have them removed again. So that pissed me off. I'm not going to go to U Chicago for minor needs anymore or sexual health. I'm going to stick to my Midwest Express,
Okay.
which is the 7-Eleven of healthcare, but they're big in Chicago. And
Are they like 7-Eleven? Yeah, I guess.
well, they're like, but they're fine. They're whatever. Even though they kind of incorrectly, they mislocated my tumor originally, but I shouldn't have been going there for that.
Not a big deal, right?
Well, we found out where it actually was
Yeah, okay,
when I
good.
went to my uncle and everybody else on my team. I had a health team when I had that tumor. So now, I've got this, I don't know, this issue. She wrote me a prescription today for like a steroid hydrocortisone cream, and I think it's
For your
from
face?
flying.
Your eyes?
My eyes.
Oh.
You see anything?
No.
Yeah,
Is it
I don't
dry?
know. They're just very dry.
Yeah.
They were all droopy and swollen the other day though. I think it's from flying, but I don't know.
I don't know. Something going on. My wife had like a little eye thing
Dermatitis,
too. Yeah. I mean, it was like a little bump, but
sty maybe.
yeah. I don't
Yeah,
know. Spring allergies.
yeah, that could be that. I definitely
I bet you that.
have that. Do you have any other?
No, I mean that was a wonderful transition from Disney to your
I don't have any transitions.
testicles.
That's just in here. Not testicles. I just had a skin tag. What was a mole? That was a mole. And then I had one little skin tag on my right testicle.
Oh my
But the mole was, it really wasn't on the, it was up,
Yeah.
on how the skin hangs a little, like a
yeah.
black mole.
Oh really?
I had it reviewed
Well,
when I was in college, and he's like, that's nothing. It just
okay.
grew overnight. Isn't that weird?
Wow.
And I've never had an STD ever.
Okay.
You don't believe me?
I know. I do. I believe you.
I don't have a lot of sexual history, really. But I will now. Okay. Carlo, let's see. Moving on to, okay, I'm interested because we're talking about flights because I'm
Okay.
irritated. It's very tough, this next decision I'm going to make, mostly a gross decision, but I think I'm committing to United Airlines.
There you go.
I'm going to be just kind of trying to fly them exclusively just so I can build my status. I've been seesawing between American and United.
Right.
And I just need to commit, it's kind of like the upcoming election. It's the lesser of two evils. But here's why I think United is better for me than American.
Okay.
Their refunds are processed much faster. Their travel credits show up automatically when you book new flights on United.
Right.
And by the way, on American, you have to request your refund. It won't auto. You'll have to pull it on the site and request it.
Gotcha.
That's weird, I think, because you could forget,
right.
like me. The boarding on United is better. They're not that different, but it's a little better and clearer because there's like lane 1, lane 2. American is just whenever you get called, but no one listens, so we all get clumped up.
Yeah.
So it's
I fly
very
UA,
stressful. You fly what?
United Airlines.
Okay.
Well, when I flew a little bit more, but I mean, I would prefer to.
But now you would like drive to Florida to go to Disney.
I would just
You would fly 7
I would
people.
spirit it
Oh,
if I
Spirit
needed
Airlines.
to, just because it's cheap.
Right.
But
Well, do you want to be taking?
I know.
Maybe not. That's not a place to cheap out on.
No, I know. It's just too expensive everywhere. But United Airlines, I think, would be. You know what? I also like United because if you.
I don't like United.
Well, if you don't, I mean, if you use it,
But I'm going to use United.
and then you want your points, you can also. I think there's a partnership with like Lyft.
I don't have that.
You don't use Lyft. You use Uber.
I do use Lyft,
You
but
do
I don't
use
know
Lyft?
about a partnership.
I think every $1 you get like a point. I don't
Oh, I
know,
didn't
something
know
like that. So might as well.
Yeah, I don't know. Another reason. Well, so I hate the boarding process on American. It's stressing me out. you know. And these people that aren't in group 1 and 2, they still stand up like they're in group 1 and 2. Sit the fuck down. But I get it.
It's like when people get off the plane.
Yes.
They just stand up.
Yeah, people like you.
I'm always in the back. Doesn't matter.
You're right. On United, you get free iMessaging during flight, whereas on American, you only get it if you're a T-Mobile customer, which I think is also weird. I'm a Verizon customer, so I don't get it.
Okay.
So I have to buy Wi-Fi if I want to text. Then, because I work for a tech company, I'm so good with tech, as you saw when we tried to start this for an hour.
Right.
I think United has invested way more in their website, their app, their tech in general. Everything's moving faster.
Yeah.
When you're on the website booking flights, I've got to think that that's true. And American always seems to have some like fix this error, and there is no error. Like when it goes red, United, it never does that to me. It's just nonstop on American, no pun intended. So I don't know.
It's a hub here.
It's a hub. Yeah, you can't. People are like, why do you fly that? Well, I have to. You only can fly what's in your city, and American and United are major hubs in Chicago and Southwest. But I'm done with Southwest. I used to be a Southwest guy,
but
a long time ago.
Yeah, at United Airlines, there's more choices for flights.
Yeah, but I don't know. I was in United First the other day, and it sucked. The food's terrible.
First class?
The plane's old. Yeah, it didn't do anything for me. Nothing. Besides,
what was the food? I'm curious.
I pre-ordered like a burger, and they said a lot of people order that, and I'm like, oh. And then I could smell them heating all the food up or the nuts, and it smells like aluminum foil. It's just everything's toxic on there. You know you're being radiated when you're on a plane.
Right.
There's, EMF or EMP, whatever it is, and it's
food on a
that's
plane
how I
is
got
never
kind of
good.
sick. What?
Food on a plane is never good.
I don't get why it can't just be a club sandwich or a turkey sandwich or something.
Like normal.
Why are we making entrees?
It's gross.
It's so bad.
The best food I've ever had on a plane was Qantas Airlines.
Yeah, international.
On Australia.
Why'd you go there?
We have family in Australia. We went there for a wedding years ago before kids. And the food there was
the food.
phenomenal.
If you're going far enough, but these trips I'm taking all the time in the United States stink. But you don't go anywhere, so you can't really relate.
No, I don't go anywhere.
Okay. Well, I think I'm going to skip my next big topic, which is about food. So I'm not going to get on my soapbox this one. And we are at we're almost at an hour, 3 minutes off. So
we could do part two. We'll do part two.
Yeah, which isn't bad. Well, I guess the last thing I'm asking everybody, my sister's going through the breakup blues. Any advice for her?
That's a loaded question.
Off the top, quick advice. What do you think?
Quick advice. Well,
have you ever gone through a breakup?
Yeah, of course.
When did you get married?
Well, I've been married for 16 years now, so.
So you got married when you were in your 29?
29.
Okay.
But,
douche.
So, so she went through a breakup. She was the one who broke up with him, or
no? Of course, it's so bad if you're not the one.
Yeah, I know. Well, I would just say,
I'm going to start. If I think someone's going to break up with me, I'm going to break up with them first.
You just sort
I'm going to pre-breakup breakup.
You start to kind of
Since I'm apparently going to be dating now my entire life.
Right. Well, you're a world traveler, so you can do that. I don't know. Quick advice, I guess. I don't know. I think in general, like, she shouldn't find her identity in this relationship or who this guy was or girl. Guy. So don't wrap yourself. Your identity is not in the relationship.
She needs to be a lot tougher. Yeah.
Yeah, not tougher, but just realize it was probably meant.
What was your worst breakup?
Oh, I don't know.
Tell me.
College, maybe.
It was?
Yeah. I mean, it was forthcoming.
Do you get affected?
It was forthcoming.
Do you get affected by? You don't seem very affected by breakups.
It was an interesting time. I mean, I was breaking up.
25 years ago.
Yeah, breaking up with her, but I was also, I was graduating.
From you broke up with her.
Yeah.
Oh, it doesn't count.
Okay, well,
it's bigger. Well, it doesn't really count.
Okay. Part two.
Yeah. Oh, thank you. Yeah, that did. You gave no good advice there. Songs of the week. High and Low by Empire of the Sun. That's a new one. I love that one. Listen to the Music by the Doobie Brothers and Dancin', but the sped up version by Aaron Smith, Chrono, and Lovely. And that's Luvli. Do you like those songs of the week?
Yeah, I
That's
think so.
my favorite part of the show, pretty much.
Yeah.
Listening back to my episodes that have songs.
Do you have? Oh, you know what we should do. You should have a WAG Spotify playlist.
I do.
Do you have one?
Yeah.
Well, I didn't know that.
Oh my gosh. I have. It's 5 hours long.
Why don't you share that with me?
It's on my link tree, I'm pretty sure, in my Instagram.
Okay.
But it says WAG, so you probably didn't notice it.
Well, yeah.
Okay, remember to listen to any of these songs that feature today or to find any that have been played on WAG. Just search WAG playlist on Spotify for the show's playlist. Literally, it's in my script. I'm not adding this. Every time we release an episode, this playlist is updated. And that's it for this episode, episode 32. Thanks for listening to The World According to George, which is available anywhere you find podcasts. Remember to follow WAG _pod on Instagram and DM me anything that's on your mind, and I will bring it up on the pod. I want to say thank you to my guest, Carlo Navarro. Plug anything you have that people can reach you if they need marketing or something.
Yeah.
Or social media.
Reach me at carlo@carlonavarro.com.
And they don't have to be in Chicago.
No.
You do work across the United States.
Global.
Even in global?
I could, yeah.
Okay.
Most of mine are domestically, but yeah.
Because Kevin's in Miami.
Yeah, Kevin's in Miami. Yeah.
Yeah, so
in
you don't have
Chicago.
to be. Good. So follow that. Look up, find Carlo, and otherwise, thanks for taking your time to do this.
Thanks for having me.
The camera's on. I'll shake your hand. But I'll see you guys all next time right here. Have a great week, everybody. Thanks.